man that has done everything he needed to do to prepare himself for his next step in life. So without further ado, we're going to go ahead and have the Marines come up and make a presentation to Cadet Ausmus.
Thank you, Thomas. So before I do that, I just want to do a quick introduction of myself. I'm Captain Tom Yankee. I'm the executive officer for all the recruiting stations in Central Florida. But more importantly, I'm the NROTC scholarship coordinator for all of Central Florida as well. So what is the NROTC scholarship, and specifically the Marine option, right? So what we're looking for is the most highly qualified candidates throughout the country. Thousands and thousands of applicants submit for this application, and only about 200, 300 get selected a year. It's about $180,000 that pays for your full tuition, your books, monthly stipends, your entire college bachelor's degree. And when you're done with that, if you successfully complete a rigorous program, you become a United States Marine Corps officer. So then you only owe 4 years back to the Marine Corps for $180,000 and your entire college tuition paid for. So what do I look for in applicants, right? First and foremost, I look for a person who has character. Someone who's going to lead the finest and the finest women and finest men in the battlefield or in the support services, but ultimately just be a leader of Marines, right? The second one is physical fitness, and that's probably the toughest one. Each applicant has to run a physical fitness test, which is a 3-mile run, max pull-ups or push-ups, and a plank, right? And they have to score competitive scores to outbeat thousands and thousands of other students within the country. The third one is an officer interview with myself and the local recruiters. And what happens is we gain a little insight and learn about your characteristics and most importantly, your potential to lead, right? So after going through probably around 150 applicants in all of Central Florida, only a few get selected. And more so, only a few get to be called United States Marine, right? The few, the proud, the Marines. So think about that. Every service has their ROTC scholarship, but only a few choose to be a United States Marine, right? Thousands of applicants get to submit their application, but only a few get selected, right? So the person who gets elected also has to demonstrate character within their community service hours. They're involved in extracurricular activities. They're typically a captain in a sport, right? Leading their peers, right? Leading by example, showing the character that they have. And a lot of that comes from the school, the support staff, the leaders and examples they have within the school system, and their parents and how they've grown up, right? So I only have a small opportunity to look at a student that's interested, right? So that I could see through them and see if they have that potential to lead and have that character within them. But also, a lot of it comes from I'm a local recruiters, right? And for this specific situation, I don't have time to go through all the counties and every high school. So I have about 400 high schools I'm in charge of. So it's impossible for me to know exactly who's the most outstanding student and who's the one that's going to lead Marines in the future. But that's when my recruiters come in, right? That's when they're like, hey, sir, I know the board's coming up in 10 days, but I got a student you really need to see, right? And this guy, and that's when the recruiter's like, hey, I think he's going to be better off going to be a commissioned officer because I know he could lead Marines downrange. And that's exactly what happened with Staff Sergeant Orozco. He called me about what? We processed this package about 10 days. We had 10 days to process about a 6-month package. And when the recruiter calls me and tells me that person's worth it, I know I'm driving there the next day, and I know I'm going to call this individual every moment throughout the next 10 days in order to get their application submitted and successfully briefed, right, in front of a board of about 20 officers selecting the most highly qualified applicants throughout the country, right? So without further ado, the local recruiters here, Staff Sergeant Roscoe and Staff Sergeant Brian, are going to present William Ausmus with the $180,000 NROTC Marine Option Scholarship. I guess we're looking this way.
He thrives under pressure.
So, I've been here for 4 years. I didn't expect much, but I always wanted to do something like this. I knew I wanted to be a Marine. I'd like to thank Sergeant Roscoe for helping pushing me to this. He showed me this opportunity and helped me get there. Thank my family, guiding me and stuff. That's about all I got to say.
There we go. Now I'll tell you, this young man if I'm going to staff sergeant Roscoe was like, hey, I want to join the Marines, I want to join. He's like, hey, you need to just hold off. You need to hold off because he saw his potential and he knew that he was a highly qualified applicant for the scholarship. So to the staff, thank you for flexing. Thank you. I know we typically don't miss formation, right? That's so bad on my Marines are going to do push-ups outside of the back.
Here we go, sir. Here we go.
So I appreciate this opportunity. And just know, if anyone's interested in this opportunity, you can get after it, right? You have the staff here, you have the support system, and most of all, you have the recruiters that can assist you, right? For your juniors, raise your hand if you're a junior. The application portal opens up in April. If you're interested, hit up the recruiter, and we can start the process now. All right? But I appreciate Summerlin Academy, pure professionals here, but ultimately, this is all about you, man. So I'm looking forward to see you in the future in the fleet. Hopefully one day I could be your battalion commander and I can tell you to run to the sounds of the gun. So again,